Okay, and the last thing that we're going to do today is the guided practice on page 477. So for numbers 1 and 2, I'm just going to use the multiplication straight across. I'm not going to worry about doing a model for that one. 3, we're going to use the model that they provide for us. And number 4, we're just going to do the multiplication. So for number 1, Tina has a half of a pan of cornbread left from a dinner party. She eats half of the leftover part the next night. How much of the whole pan does she eat? Write an equation to model your work. So if you think about it, this problem is very similar to the solve and share that we did. So we know that she has a half of a pan, and they told us that she eats half of that pan. So we're going to do half of the half. She eats half of the pan. So we're going to take our of and turn it into multiplication. So we're doing 1/2 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4, which means that she has eaten 1/4 or 1/4 of the leftovers. Okay, in number 2, in the example on page 476, find the fraction of a whole pan of lasagna that Tom ate if he started with 7/8 of a pan. So if he started with 7/8 of a pan, let me just go back, and that problem said there was 1/4 of a pan of lasagna left. Tom ate 1/3 of this amount. So if he instead ate 1/3 of 7/8, he's going to end up with 7/24. So it's a matter of just going in and switching out the numbers, where in the original problem he started with 1/4 of a pan, 1/4 of a pan. Now we're changing it to 7/8. So our 7/8 times the 1/3 gives us 7/24. Okay, I'm going to jump down first to number 4, and then I'll go back to number 3 with the grid. So for number 4, they wanted us to find 3/4 of 4/9. Again, we can change that of to multiplication. 3 times 4 is 12. And 4 times 9 is 36. So I end up with an answer of 12/36. And I have a feeling that that is not my final answer, because I see some things already in it that I know based on knowledge of my multiplication facts. So I know already that I could definitely cut it in half. So I can do half of 12 gives me 6. And I know I can do half of 36 because it ends in an even number. So I know half of 30 is 15. And then half of 6 is 3, which would give me 18. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't give me my final answer because I can still do some other things with it. So I'm going to actually go back to my original answer of 12/36. And now I'm going to think about all of the multiples of both of those numbers. So if I divide instead of 2, I ask myself, can I divide both of them by 3? I can, but I'm going to also say, can I divide both of them by 4? So can I do 12 divided by 4? Definitely. Can I do 36 divided by 4? Definitely. So if I do 12 divided by 4 and 36 divided by 4, I'll get closer to my final answer, but I don't want to stop there. I want to keep going and see if I can do anything else, because I have a feeling there might be something else that I can do. Can I do both of those numbers divided by 5? No, I can't. So I go up one more. Can I do both of those numbers divided by 6? I know I can, because I know 12 divided by 6 gives me 2. I know 36 divided by 6 gives me 6. And then I'm also going to say, if I can do 6, could I do 12? So I do 12 divided by 12 is 1. 36 divided by 12 is 3, which means my final answer is 1/3. Okay, so just another way to make sure I have my really final simplified answer. And then the final problem is, we're going to jump back up to number 3. They wanted us to find 5/6 times 1/2. So this time they gave you a grid, and their grid looks like this. So first it's cut into the halves this way. So we have 2 parts, and the second part obviously is cut into 6. So our 5/6 is going to go on this side. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm again going to take my 2 different colors, and for my 1/2, again, those are my 2 parts, I'm going to shade in 1 of the 2 parts. Okay, when I go to my other side, where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to shade in 5 of those 6s. So it's going to be down to there. And then again, what I have to ultimately do is I need to figure out what section is shaded in both colors. So if I look here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts that are shaded in out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 more is 12. So my answer is 5/12. 5 times 1 is 5, 6 times 2 is 12. That was the guided practice on page 477. You're going to try the independent practice 5 through 14 on your own, and I will be putting up the answer sheet for that so you can check your work on Monday.